6:46, time for the morning rush. 4 people who Las Cruces police say are responsible for what they are calling a mass shooting over the weekend are now in custody this morning. On Friday night, 2 groups got into a fight at an unsanctioned car show that escalated to what police say were gunshots and killing 3 people. LCPD says that they have arrested 2 17-year-olds and 1 15-year-old in connection to the shooting, along with 20-year-old Tomas Rivas.
Now, in the wake of that shooting, multiple organizations, including the Las Cruces Police and Fire Departments, are setting up a family assistance and resource center at the Las Cruces Convention Center. That'll be open from 10 this morning until 6 this evening. That'll end tomorrow as well. The resource center will have a variety of free services for anyone impacted by the shooting.
A man accused in a fatal shooting in northwest Albuquerque is waking up behind bars this morning. According to APD, 42-year-old Seth Stevenson was at a friend's home on Saturday night. It was near 11th and Lomas when Stevenson shot the man and later fled the home before being contacted by officers a short time later. Now, he was booked into MDC early this morning on multiple charges, including first-degree murder. Ryan.
Clouds are parting way to the east with a beautiful sunrise, not only in Albuquerque, but from the other side of the Sandias, from Sandia Peak, we can see clouds along the horizon and the bright orange, fiery looking colors along the horizon. Barely any snow left over in the foreground there at the ski area in Sandia Peak, as we'll continue to deal with more mountain snow melt and temperatures near record territory for a few areas.
Albuquerque city leaders are breaking down what they're doing to reduce the potential funding cuts by the Trump administration could have on a variety of programs and services. The city says it's at risk of losing about $200 million in federal funding. According to city leaders, if federal funding is lost, vouchers, shelters, and affordable housing programs could be at risk.
A Rio Rancho police officer got quite the surprise when his patrol car fell into a sinkhole. The department says the officer, Corey Marquez, walked away unharmed, just a little muddy and wet. The city says that a water main break in the area of Cherry and Unser was the cause early yesterday. And again, this is something that they have addressed at this point.
The Chimayo community is still without a post office 2 years after the old one burned down. Now we know where the new one is going to be. The United States Postal Service is announcing they are officially relocating the post office to the town's south side. That's about 2.5 miles from the old location. USPS did not say when the post office is expected to open. Ryan.
Temperatures on the rise ahead with mostly clear skies, wispy clouds east of the Sandias in the northern mountains. Otherwise, pretty much from I-40 to the south, it'll be a cloud-free day, just a little bit breezy in the Four Corners in southeast New Mexico, but temperatures for some, the highest since late October, and near record high temperatures continue for a few areas tomorrow. Light rain showers to the north, but remaining mostly dry ahead.
Work on a new animal clinic aimed at decreasing the amount of unwanted and homeless pets in Espanola is underway this morning. Now, nearly a decade ago, Espanola Humane opened up their free spay and neuter clinic out of a double-wide trailer. Yesterday, the organization broke ground on a new clinic that they say will help with the pet population, as well as providing more pet resources statewide.
A retired military colonel from Albuquerque recently joined more than 4,000 people to honor the heroes of the Bataan Death March. Retired Army Colonel Linda Huffer served in the United States Army for more than 20 years. Huffer finished the full march in just under 8 hours.
New this morning, Albuquerque Fire Rescue is giving an update on the construction of the first station that it's adding in more than 20 years. Fire Station 23 will be part of the West Side's Southwest Public Safety Center. That's going to be on 98th Street and Amole Mesa. The goal of the project is to lower emergency response times in the area. The first phase of construction is scheduled to be complete by the fall. Ryan.
And taking a look at traffic, some increase in traffic around the Big I, but still no major accidents or slowdowns, just an increase in volume. Taking a look right now at the Big I, we do notice, of course, plenty of trucks and cars on the roadways, but again, no major disruptions as of right now. We'll have more updates later today.
Well, the Cinderella run is over before it can even really get going for the Lobo men's basketball team. Now, after picking up a big upset win over Marquette on Friday, the Lobos took on Michigan State last night. New Mexico led at 31-29 at halftime. However, in the second half, Michigan State, they surged to go up by as much as 10. That's before eventually winning the game by a score of 71-63.
And now it's time for the 5 facts.
At number 5, a retired military colonel from Albuquerque recently joined more than 4,000 people to honor the heroes of the Bataan Death March. On Saturday, thousands of men and women made their way through dirt, sand, and rocks below the San Andres Mountains at White Sands Missile Range. Among those was retired Army Colonel Linda Huffer. She served in the military for over 20 years in the United States Army Medical Corps, specializing in cardiology. Huffer finished the full march in just under 8 hours.
At number 4, work on a new animal clinic aimed at decreasing the amount of unwanted and homeless pets in Espanola. It's underway this morning. Now, nearly a decade ago, Espanola Humane opened up their free spay and neuter clinic that was out of a double wide trailer. Well, that small space is where they currently do 40 to 50 surgeries a day. Now, 50,000 surgeries later, Espanola Humane says that they are ready to extend their reach.
And at number 3, look at those beautiful clouds right now along the horizon in Albuquerque. It look like those clouds are on fire. Yellows, oranges, pinks, and reds. But cloud-free for the rest of today. Temperatures on the rise and some of the highest temperatures ahead since October for some areas.
At number 2, Albuquerque city leaders are breaking down what they are doing to reduce the impact that potential funding cuts from the Trump administration could have on a variety of programs and services. The city says that it's at risk of losing about $200 million in federal funding. Well, according to city leaders, if federal funding is lost, vouchers, shelters, and affordable housing programs could be at risk. Now, much of the crime lab equipment, sexual assault kits, and money for investigations are also federally funded. Large infrastructure projects and public transit may also be affected.
And at number 1, 4 people who Las Cruces police say are responsible for what they're calling a mass shooting over the weekend are now in custody. Friday night, around 200 people gathered at Young Park in Las Cruces for an unsanctioned car show when police say 2 groups who have a history of problems with each other got into a fight. That fight escalated to gunshots, killing 19-year-old Dominic Estrada, 18-year-old Jason Gomez, and 16-year-old Andrew Gomez. LCPD says they have arrested 2 17-year-olds and 1 15-year-old in connection to that shooting, along with 20-year-old Tomas Rivas. Rivas is being held in the Doña Ana County Detention Center, while police say the teenagers are being held in the juvenile section of that facility.